Welcome back, Captains, to another Infinite Galaxy video. This is Dragothian here, and with the Imperial City unlocking in under a day, let's talk Imperial City. What does it mean? What do you get? What's the point? Certainly there is, rewards whenever you capture the Imperial City, but after it's done, what does it mean? What does it do for your Nebula? What does it do for your Alliance? How does it help you as an individual player? Let's go through these different sections here. I want to show you what you get, and then also just kind of describe what that means to you in the game. So first off, you got the Federation Officer System here, and if you click the little question mark here, Princeps is basically the king, the guy who runs the show, the one that calls the shots, at least in title. More often than not, during games like this, the king is really more of a culture setter. They are a, final say on certain matters, but really the officers are the people that tend to actually get the job done. So I want to kind of go through that with you as well. But Princeps appoint officers, send defender packs, which is basically kingdom chests, and unlock Federation buffs, which is nebula wide. So everybody in the nebula can get that buff for a certain amount of time. And I'm sure that the buff will cost corium or something of that nature. And also send mail to all players inside the nebula. You also have a cabinet spokesman, assist the Princeps to manage officers, Federation buffs, and packs. That is awesome. So it's basically a backup king, which is amazing. I wish we had that in Rise of Kingdoms. This is a fantastic position where you can just kind of appoint a second in command to take things over when the time arises or when the need arises. There's so many things inside the system here that require attention. It's good to have a second person on hand. Now, the officer system, there's 8 officers and 8 rebel forces. Rebel forces are negative titles where somebody's causing some trouble in the nebula. You want to make sure that they understand that they are not doing something they're supposed to be doing. And on top of that, gives them a negative debuff so that if it's something somebody's attacking, you can remove some attack and worship HP. You can, if it's somebody who just wants to grow, you can remove their research speed. You can slow down their fleets. You can do all kinds of stuff to these guys. And man, I just want to move the screen, but it's dropping every 2 seconds. Let's talk about the officers really quick. General staff, again, the king or the Princep and the cabinet spokesman are going to be able to assign these roles, I believe. I think the Princep will have to allow the cabinet spokesman to do it on a time-by-time basis. I'm not sure if it's going to be just permanent 2 kings. I think it's probably just hey, I'm going to be busy. You have the Princep role. General staff here, planet development, all resources, output bonus 15%. That's actually pretty substantial and can definitely do some amazing things for you. But we're looking at what's going to be the day-to-day tasks of the Princep. So that's not going to be one that you're going to be switching around an awful lot. That's just going to be rewarding somebody for doing something or something like that. Project Minister, Spaceport Construction Speed. This will be one that is given to anybody in the kingdom, at least in our nebula, anybody in the nebula who is training a big construction. So if they're leveling up their spaceport to level 24, or they're ranking up their research center to 24 or 25 or 26 or whatever, you want to give this to them so they can have 10% less time on that building. Same thing with Tech Minister. This will be one that's handed out universally, not one that's given to one particular person for a set amount of time. Anybody doing a big research can request this inside of the global chat in the game, and the Princeps or the backup Princeps, basically the spokesperson, can hand that out. Defense Minister, Warship Attack, Warship Shield. This will basically be handed out again as a celebratory role kind of thing, but during war, defense minister will be very important. You want to have your main rallying captain doing this. You want to have somebody that's in a garrison for a spaceport or something like that in the system. You want to have him loaded up with the defense minister title. Secretary, warship build speed and total warship attack and fleet leadership limit bonus. My goodness, that is a boss title, secretary. I really like that one. But again, this will be one in non-war times that will be handed out for the entire kingdom whenever they're starting a new warship build setup, or if somebody's pushing for Galaxy Star, things like that. Same thing applies for research speed and spaceport construction speed as well. You'll see those handed out fluidly throughout the nebula. And again, during war, warship attack and fleet leadership limit bonus. That will be something for war and will be handed out to the heavy fighters in the battle. Finance Minister, all resources gather speed up 10%. Planet Development, all resources output 10%. That's a nice little gatherer title, somebody who could use the gathering speed. And again, should be probably a reward for somebody who's done well for the kingdom, giving them a little bit extra resources, which are critical in this game. Fleet Commander, navigate speed 20%. Also a very good thing here. And then finally here for the officer titles here, Paymaster General, navigate speed 15%, just like Fleet Commander, but a little lower, but also getting warship armor 10%. I almost might prefer Paymaster General over Fleet Commander. The 5% drop on navigate speed to me is definitely worth it to get 10% warship armor. That's very, very nice. And then again, you've got the different debuffs, negative 10% research speed for Mocker. Outcast is negative 10% navigate speed. Spy is negative 8% warship attack and HP. Deserter is negative 6% warship armor and shield. Pirates is negative 6% spaceport construction speed. Phobos is negative build speed for warships and negative resources gathered by 6%. Rebels, negative 5% warship attack and negative 10% planet development output. And then Mutineer is negative 6% all resources gathered. So very strong titles for both buff and debuff, in my opinion, and quite a few of them. Most of the other games that, obviously we've played, Rise of Kingdoms, they don't have nearly this many officer titles, so it's pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. Let's talk about the buffs. So we've got 5 different buffs, and again, it doesn't let me click it to see how much these are, but I'd imagine they're different levels of corium based on the actual buff itself. But 10% nebula-wide basic construction speed boost, tech, same thing, research speed, tech revolution, war mobilization, 10% build speed for warships. That's awesome. Gather speed up, again, all resources gathered by 20%. That's your tax skill. And then ship repair, 20% increase. That's your healing buff. So some things that are missing. Obviously, we don't have any kind of passive resource generation in this game. I think that's something that needs to be added in this game, to be honest with you. There needs to be some kind of botanist platform or something inside of your spaceport so you can generate resources, or in this case they're all metals, so maybe it's like an alchemy lab, or I don't know, but some kind of passive generation of resources would be very nice. I know that you get those from events and things like that, but that should be on top of some passive generation. Other than that, it looks pretty similar to what we all are familiar with. Let's go to Federation Pack. These are Kingdom Packs or Nebula Packs that you pass out. The Princeps can pass out, or the spokesperson can pass out. And we have a lot of them. You got 5 Legendary Gold Heart Defender Packs, 10 Silver Star Defender Packs, and then 20 Bronze Cross Defender Packs. And when you click the little icon here, it tells you what you get. That's awesome. 2,400 legendary blueprints here for the advanced credits. Very, very nice. You also get 1,000 corium. You get a bunch of resources and a few speed ups as well. That's nice. I like that. Same thing, basically the same thing, except for lower amounts on everything else. And then instead of legendary blueprints, Federation credits, you get epic Federation credits, which in this game actually really, really important. You want to get those, certainly those gathering ships leveled up, but there's some really strong fighting ships at this point in the game, like the Brontus, like the Radamanthus. In particular, those two are my favorites from the epic side. Where you want to get those things leveled up. And then the bronze one, again, the same thing, just basically cut in half the Silver Star Defender Pack. So these are all really good and can stack up really nicely. And you have a bunch of them to give out, 35. That's quite a few bundles to give out as the Princeps. Princeps Notice is basically the mail system for the leader of the Nebula. Can send out nebula-wide mails and messages so that everybody gets information. And then this is a little list of who's been the previous Princeps and, all that good stuff. I think we've got a pretty decent rotation set up for Nebula 12, where the 4 alliances inside of the middle zone will be rotating everything around. With there not being any kind of KVK right now, that makes total sense. or I guess NVN in this game. It'll be Nebula versus Nebula. It makes total sense to go ahead and rotate, especially at the very beginning, so everybody can kind of really get familiar with each other, and kind of understand whose play styles kind of work and whose don't. This is a great time to figure that out. So rotating the alliance leaders, the Nebula leaders through the alliances makes a lot of sense. But that's the officer rotation, the buffs rotation, and then certainly the Nebula packs as well that the Princeps can send out. That's what we're fighting for in just over 17 hours, guys. So this is going to be really important for the Nebula. I'm definitely going to be recording taking the gate, which enables the ability to take the city. So looks really fun. Oh my goodness, I'm actually kind of getting a little giddy and excited, waiting for this to happen. So I'll record it for you guys, and I'll make this my first video for May of you guys enjoying the Imperial City being taken. After 3 months of playing the game, we get the Imperial City, and now we get into the grind of really building the kingdom and understanding who's here and all that stuff. Because before, it's just been PvP nonstop, which is frankly awesome. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers, have a good one, and take care.